We are on the course of how to use extracted teeth to transform them into viable bone graft. My speaker today is Professor Isaac Binderman. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you. Yes, it's a pleasure for me to speak here to this beautiful audience of Poland dentists who are on a very high level about reusing extracted teeth instead of throwing them away, to reuse it as a bone graft. We have to understand that at least in Poland, in population of 40 million people, every year are extracted around 6 million teeth. It's a lot of teeth that were thrown away. Now we found a way to transform the extracted teeth into a viable bone graft, which can be immediately put back into the socket of the extraction tooth, and it will preserve the bone, the alveolar ridge, for many years. We know it because we know about valve teeth extracted by injury that are put back into the socket, that they are ankylosed because the cells identify autologous teeth as their own tissue, like bone. And therefore, what we have done now is that we have developed a quick system that in any practice of dentists, they can transform the extracted teeth after 20 minutes into a bacteria-free, the best bone graft that it will preserve the alveolar ridge for many years. And this will give an aesthetic and functional alveolar ridge bone to restore the lost teeth.
Okay. Dear Professor, thank you for presentation the method. And now tell us, why is it better than other grafting methods?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, of course. There are many today bone grafts. They are from human beings, allogenic, they are from animals, and they are also synthetic, like TCP and HA, okay? The allogenic bone grafts, they can, of course, make an immune response, okay? And they are not well as autologous bone. When we compare dentin or tooth graft, we can only compare to autologous bone, okay? Because this is the same level. This is called the gold standard of grafting. All the other materials have problems with it. Xenografts you can use because they change the bone xenograft into a ceramic. So it's inert, but it's not bioactive. Autologous bone is bioactive, and dentin graft is also bioactive. Now, of course, the comparison between dentin graft of the tooth and autologous bone is that autologous bone you have to make a surgery to take out from the same patient bone, and then this will heal very difficult with pain and so on, and also you produce another defect. Here, extracted tooth, it's not anymore a waste. You can in 20 minutes change it into the best autologous bone graft.
What is it making exactly for the patient? Why teeth?
Yeah, first of all, for example, if you have an impacted molar, okay, you make a surgery, and once you remove the molar, the tooth, you have a big crater. Now instead of taking all kinds of materials, grafting materials from animals, from other, you take the tooth, you grind it, you put it back in place as a bone graft, and this will now heal the crater. So you restore the alveolar ridge, okay? So this is very important. So I'm talking now about, and then of course, if you have teeth that are extracted and put into the socket, you can put implants inside, okay? And also, for example, in sinus lifting, when you don't have enough bone and you extracted the tooth, you can fill the sinus with the dentin graft. And then you can much faster to make implants. Because usually when you put another bone graft inside, it will take at least 9 months, 12 months until you can put implants. Because dentin is very hard, you can wait only 3 months and you can put implants, and they are very stable. And also you don't get resorption of the graft, dentin graft, as you get resorption of other materials. And it's yours. It's the same patient's tissue, which is very important.
Yeah, that sounds really amazing. And tell us, what's the patient's reactions when you offer them to make that kind of a graft?
Well, I must say, first of all, many patients, when the dentist extracts the tooth, they say, okay, can I get my tooth? Because they believe it's their tissue. You took out, they want it, okay? Here, when the dentist explains to the patients, you know, your tooth, instead of drawing out, I can change it into bone graft, which will maintain your bone, will restore your alveolar ridge, or preserve the bone, that it will not be resorbed. And this will give you, in the future, aesthetic restoration, bridge or implants, whatever. Okay, so they like it, and economically speaking, for the dentist, it's very important that he brings such an innovative procedure. Why? Because this patient who was convinced to make it, he will send to this dentist many more patients. Okay, so it's important that the patients will know that there is such an innovative and very safe procedure, because it's autologous. It's not from animals, not from other human beings, and not synthetic. It's his own tissue.
You have been doing implantology from 1970s. Tell us, what's the most important now in implantology? What's on top? What's the future of this specialization?
Now, implantology got over the time many different phases. In the 70s, we used, for example, blade implants. Afterwards, started to use the screw-type implants or the cylinder implants, okay? Now, we learned a lot. We talked about osseointegration. But osseointegration in implantology today, yes, it's just mechanical catch of the implant. The bone is growing very close to the implant, and this is how it is fixing the implant. But we don't have any biological connection between the new bone and the implant. In the next generation of implantology, I believe, because we have today biological glues, and we understand how the cells attach to metal even, or to polymers, we shall develop a biological attachment of bone and also soft tissues to the metal, to the titanium. And this, I believe, the future is.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. It was a big pleasure to gain knowledge from you today, and I hope to meet you again.
Okay, thank you very much, and I am with pleasure trying to be here, and I like the country, and I like the Polish dentist.
Okay. Thank you. It was Professor Itzhak Binderman in Warsaw talking with Aleksandra Grabiec, Dental Radio.